Hi, I'm Anna, and welcome to the D4 Audible Cheat Sheet series. This is an 8 episode run designed specifically for students preparing for the WSET Diploma D4 Sparkling Wines exam, and especially for those of you who are short on time but aiming for distinction level answers. These episodes are not tastings, they are not theory playbooks, and they are not region by region lectures. They are method first, recall guides. Each episode takes one production method or method family and walks through it in the exact order the exam rewards, using only details from the D4 textbook. You can listen while walking, driving, cooking, or commuting. The goal is simple. If you've listened to these episodes, you should be able to structure and populate a high scoring D4 answer under time pressure. Here's how the series is structured. Episode 1, Traditional Method, the full exam walkthrough. Episode 2, Tank Method, from first fermentation to bottling. Episode 3, Prosecco DOC and DOCG Tank Method in Practice. Episode 4, Asti and Moscato d'Asti, Arrested Fermentation. Episode 5, Transfer Method, when and why it's used. Episode 6, Carbonated Sparkling Wines, Production and Limitations. Episode 7, Lambrusco, Multiple Methods, Multiple Styles. And Episode 8, Sparkling Shiraz, Adapting Method to a Red Base Wine. You don't need to listen to these in one go. Think of them as mental reps, short, repeatable, and exam shaped. Let's begin with the most important method in D4. When the D4 exam asks about the traditional method, it's not asking you to describe champagne romantically. It's asking whether you understand control. Control of acidity, pressure, texture, flavor development, and cost. A strong answer follows the production sequence. So we begin where the method begins: harvesting. Grapes for traditional method sparkling wines are harvested early with the explicit aim of preserving high acidity and low potential alcohol. This is critical because the wine must undergo two fermentations. High acidity provides freshness and longevity, while lower sugar levels keep alcohol moderate after the second fermentation. Typical base wines finish the first fermentation at around 10 to 11% alcohol, creating the structural foundation for balance once pressure and dosage are added later. 2. Pressing. Pressing is gentle and controlled. Whole bunch pressing is commonly used to minimize the extraction of phenolics, color, and bitterness, particularly when using black skin grapes such as Pinot Noir and Pinot Meunier. Low pressure pressing produces purer juice with higher acidity and finesse, which directly contributes to a lighter body, finer mousse, and greater aging potential. In regions such as Champagne, juice fractions may be separated, with the earliest fractions producing the most delicate base wines. 3. Primary fermentation. The primary fermentation is typically conducted at cool temperatures, often between 12 and 20 degrees Celsius. Cool fermentation preserves delicate fruit aromas and avoids the development of overt phenolic or alcoholic weight, which would feel clumsy once carbonation is introduced. Neutral vessels such as stainless steel are commonly used, although some producers may include a proportion of oak fermented base wine to add texture and complexity. Next, malolactic conversion is a stylistic choice, not a requirement. When carried out, it reduces malic acid to lactic acid, softening acidity and contributing creamy or buttery notes. Producers aiming for fresher, more linear style may block MLF to retain sharper acidity, while others allow it to improve roundness and approachability. Tirage and second fermentation. The wine is then bottled with a liqueur de tirage, a mixture of sugar and yeast. This triggers the second fermentation in bottle, during which yeast converts sugar into alcohol and carbon dioxide. Because the bottle is sealed, the carbon dioxide dissolves into the wine, creating pressure. Traditional method wines typically finish with around 5 to 6 atmospheres of pressure, which produces fine persistent bubbles and a creamy mousse. Lees aging and autolysis. After the second fermentation, the wine is aged on its lees. This is where autolysis occurs, the breakdown of dead yeast cells, releasing compounds that add bread, brioche, biscuit, and nutty aromas, as well as increased texture and complexity. Lease aging is both time and cost intensive, and the D4 exam expects you to know minimum requirements. For example, champagne requires a minimum of 12 months on lees with longer aging for vintage wines. Many other traditional method wines have shorter minimums, but extended lease aging generally correlates with higher quality and price. Riddling. Riddling gradually moves the sediment into the neck of the bottle. This can be done manually or mechanically, and it prepares the wine for clarification. Disgorgement. During disgorgement, the frozen plug of sediment is expelled from the bottle. This step removes the lees, leaving the wine clear while retaining dissolved carbon dioxide. Dosage. After disgorgement, liqueur de expedition is added to top up the bottle. This determines the final sweetness level that can range from brut nature through to demi-sec and beyond. Dosage plays a critical role in balance. Higher acidity wines can support lower dosage, creating tension and precision, while riper base wines may require slightly more dosage to avoid tasting angular or harsh. Incorrect dosage can flatten a wine or exaggerate acidity, so it directly affects quality perception. Post disgorgement maturation. Some wines are released immediately after disgorgement, while others are matured further to allow dosage to integrate. Extended post disgorgement aging can soften texture and harmonize flavors, particularly in premium styles. And that is the traditional method, not as a story, but as an exam ready sequence. If a D4 question asks about harvesting, pressing, winemaking choices, lees aging, dosage, or quality in traditional method sparkling wines, this is the structure your answer must follow. In the next episode, we move to the tank method, and you'll hear how deliberately different the logic is: faster, cheaper, fresher, and built around primary fruit rather than autolysis. Listen when you can, repeat when you need to. I hope this helps, and I'll see you in episode 2 of the D4 audio series.